The last class we were talking about the Oracle VirtualBox, and we downloaded. And the idea was that we started off, back in days as with bare metal servers. Wow, this is kind of okay. All right, I think it's time to kill this application and restart it. And that's what it is called in Linux. Kill the process, restart it. Linux is pretty brutal, by the way. It doesn't filter anything. Naturalize, denaturalize. None of those things work in Linux, okay? Close the application. No, kill it, okay? That's the way we do it. Come over here and make this a little lighter. Yeah, right here. So the story is this, that we started off with bare metal servers back in days in early 90s, late 90s. We were using bare metal servers. These are like physical metal, heavy metal servers. And then we transition into this is called BM. Then we transition into something called a virtual world. Virtual is basically taking the same server that you have over here, bare metal, and then installing on top of this a piece of software, virtualization layer, we can say, virtualization layer. It has a word, and the word is hypervisor. 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 This basically acts as an operating system for this bare metal server over here. This is bare metal. This will give you the virtualization platform. Platform means the underlying technology. So now using this hypervisor, you're using this software, basically, essentially it's a software. You can convert the underlying physical bare metal server, you can convert it to tiny virtual machines, and you can have a number of virtual machines, and one of these box represents the VM. Now the V stands for virtual, M stands for the machine. So what is a bare metal machine? Bare metal machine is any machine, server. Bare metal machine is any machine which is a physical phenomena. My laptop is a bare metal machine. I can touch it. Now on my laptop, I can install the hypervisor, or I can install the virtualization software, which will give me the ability to get multiple virtual machines. What's the definition of a virtual machine? It's basically a machine which is made out of a software, okay? And it's a representation. It's not a physical machine. It is a representation of a physical machine, okay? At the end of the day, how is it happening, basically? Take a look at this. Bare metal machine, or a physical machine phenomena, is all about resources. And just now, AnyDesk is basically, so you guys are answering those questions, okay? So let me just move this over here. AnyDesk is a way for you to connect to a machine, a remote machine. Yeah, I have a machine which is set up in New Jersey, in New York, and I wanted to access that. I would use the AnyDesk software. But this is different. This is a different concept. If you look at any physical machine, your laptop, your desktop, your server, it basically has some resources such as CPU, RAM, and hard drive, right? And some of these CPUs, yeah, pay attention, like in your laptop. In my laptop, I have 8 processors. I have 32 GB RAM. I have 500 terabyte hard drive. So this is my physical machine configuration, my laptop. And if you have a server, the one that you're working on, if I can remind you, or if rather, if I can ask you, go back to the terminal and then tell me how do you check all of these resources which I already have taught you. How do you check the number of CPUs on your server? Give me the command quickly. ls CPU. If you don't know this command, shame on you. That's all I'm going to say, because we spend hours on learning this. How do you check the number of CPUs? ls CPU. What's the command? Where do you see the number of CPUs? Right over here. So I have 32 CPUs. So let me go back and I can say I have 32 CPUs in my server, right? Now, how do I check the RAM in my server? Let's go take a look at the RAM over here. Pre-H. If you don't know this command, shame on you, okay? Shame on you, because we spend a lot of time on this. So what's the total RAM over here? 30 gigabyte, no problem. Let's take a look at this and let's add this over here. 30 GB is the total amount of physical RAM I have in my server. Now let's take a look at the hard drive configuration or the capacity of our hard drive. How would I find out all the attached hard drive to my server using the command line interface or using the shell? I can type the command lsblk. All of you guys that know all of this command, you are winners. All of you that do not know this command, I don't care what excuse you give it to yourself, you are unfortunately going to be a loser for the rest of your life. I'm sorry to tell you this, because there's excuses everywhere. Okay, so let's take a look at this over here. That's the title you earned for yourself. I didn't give it to you. I'm sorry. Okay, somebody's giving you free classes and you don't value them. You gotta be a loser. You lost it. That's what I mean, basically. You lost your time. Take a look at this. I have 930 gigabyte hard drive. So I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to say 930 gigabyte. So this is not terabyte. This is gigabyte. Hold on a second. Let me take a look at this one more time. Yeah, 930 GB. 930 GB. And then it has a bunch of network cards. Hey, how do I check the number of network cards on my machine? What's the command for that? And along their IP addresses? Quickly. Ah, okay. Now you guys are losing the grip. Well, this is what happens. Don't worry about it, okay? They never taught you how to take advantage of the free stuff. So your brain is not ready to accept that. If config is a one command. And if I make this smaller, a little bit smaller, and I can also use the nmcli. I can also see the nmcli right here. And if I come over here, this is my interface number one, which is the network card. And this is not my network card. This is not my network card. This is my network card. EN02, EN03, EN04. So I have 4 physical network cards. So 4 physical network cards over here. 4 physical network cards. So I'm going to basically put over here network card 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are my 4 physical network cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. How do I check the network card one's IP address? Well, hey, let's take a look at this right now. I can type ifconfig command and take a look at this EN01 right here. This is my IP address, just because we're at this. So now we have the IP address here as well. So this basically means this one is alive. This one has the traffic coming in right here. This guy is a live network. There's a cable connected into this. How do I know that there is a cable connected over here? Well, I have the nmcli command. Nmcli is beautiful command. Nmcli. Um, Not really. NMCLI is, oh, right here. Yes, exactly. NMCLI is showing me here NENO1 is connected. And take a look at this. Everything else is disconnected. I'm going to throw in another command for you guys for free. There's no charge for this command. ETH tool ENO1. ETH tool ENO1. Take a look at this. This is beautiful command. It's lovely to do troubleshooting for network interfaces. Take a look at this. Is the link detected? Yes. That means there is a cable connected to my interface 1. I am going to take a look at my interface number 2. So I'm going to say ETH tool. ETH tool means Ethernet tool. ENO2. ENO2. Yes, there's a cable connected in this link connected. That the link is detected. That means there's a cable plugged in. It has no IP address assigned, so that's why it's not online. EN3 is, I have the third interface. I'm looking at the third interface now. tool ENO3. Is the link detected? No. This basically means the link detected basically means if there's any internet cable or RJ45 cable going into this interface, and from there it's going into the switch. From the switch, ladies and gentlemen, to my interface. So the second thing is there a cable connected from switch into this interface? The answer is yes. Is the third one connected? The answer is, you give me the answer. I'm tired of giving you all the answers. The answer is no. Let's take a look at the fourth one, ladies and gentlemen. The link detected? No. So now you have another command over here. The link is not detected over here. But that's not what I wanted to teach you. I wanted to teach you something else. I want to teach you virtualization. Now, these are all of my resources. All day long, this is what you will be talking about. Hey, the resource, how much is the server used, how many CPUs, how much RAM, how much hard drive. It's all about storage, memory, and your processing power. Now, pay attention over here. Why did we need the virtualization? Well, the virtualization was needed because what I was doing was, before I had the virtualization, I was taking an operating system, all right, and I was installing that operating system on top of this bare metal, all right over here. This is where I would install the operating system, and I had a choice to install Linux, Unix, or Windows. You never see Mac running on servers, so Mac is out. These are the major players. Unix is phasing out. It's a dying dinosaur. That's the term we use. Linux is a winner right now because it's open source, and Windows is there. It's a great platform. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate Windows, but it's good for what's the word, for laptops, for home use, pretty much. It's used in the enterprise big time, don't get me wrong, but it's good as a client station. For servers, Linux is the best. So guess what? This operating system has access to 32 CPUs, 30 gig RAM, 30 gigabyte of disk space. And the most we were doing was we were running applications on top of this, right? And if I can choose a different color over here, and those applications were basically, ladies and gentlemen, Those applications were, uh, let me give it a color over here, right here. This right here. We were using application one, application two, app one and app two. Chris, you have a question? You have your hand up. Let me take a question from Chris. I see his hand up for a long time. He's a first time comer over here, newcomer. Welcome, Chris.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good, good, good.
No, I no longer. The questions I had, I was typing it in the chat and I follow suit. I found out about the program this week.
Hmm.
I'm just diving in head first and just trying to
You'll
make
be fine. You'll be fine.
sense.
Everything is on the YouTube. You're gonna, if you're into learning new things, you're gonna love this. Okay.
Okay, cool. All right,
All right. Good. Welcome. Welcome.
thank you.
Okay. All right. So we had this bare metal server. Please mute yourself, Chris. And then we installed the OS on top of it, and then we installed applications on top of it. Okay. And as you go deeper into the course, you will be installing applications. And remember, go back to my class 101. IT industry is all about developing applications, making them available to the customers. Applications bring money. Anything you touch today is an application. Okay. And so, me as a DevOps engineer, as a Linux admin, network administrator, security guy, data analyst, all of us are busy to make sure that there is a good application out there and we can get more number of users to use it. That's what the IT industry is all about. It dances around the applications. This is beautiful over here, and this application was sort of like a married to this operating system, right? And everything was tangled. This application is using the same software, underlying software that this application is using. They are all using the same software, which is the Linux operating system. It's good, but there's a problem with this approach. The problem is that you're not utilizing your resources effectively. Some of these resources are they're underutilized, and companies realize that long time ago. The 32 GB hardly ever gets used to the maximum. The most it gets used is maybe 10 gigabyte, maybe no, sorry, 10 CPUs, maybe 7, maybe 6, depending on what application you are using. And also, there were spikes of traffic during the daytime, and nighttime everything is sitting idle. So, a company, a visionary came up with this idea, which is VMware initially, and they said that, there's something fundamentally, there's nothing wrong with this, but you're losing a lot of money. You're not utilizing these resources are underutilized. So they came up with the virtualization idea, and they came up with the VMware company, and the VMware company basically provided a software solution which basically changed the whole um, system engineering, system administration, or the server's definition of the server. The server used to be a physical beefy machine. Now this is still, by the way, a physical phenomena. This, at the end of the day, there is always a physical server. Remember that. No matter you're working on a cloud, no matter you work in a VM, cloud, or instance, at the end of the day, there's always going to be a physical bare metal server. Now we're just using it more effectively, okay, in better ways. So this physical bare metal server stays the same: 32 CPUs, 30 gigabyte of RAM, and the hard drive is still there. Now, instead of installing the Linux on top of it, we have basically just used the VMware software to install. This gives us the virtualization platform. Virtualization platform. Okay. Now this will give you the ability to basically create multiple machines, not just, you can run multiple operating systems. This could be running Linux, this could be running Windows, this could be running Unix. So you see the idea, the same physical server is now capable of running multiple operating systems. So that's why we have the virtualization. And this is very much widely accepted and used. And don't get me wrong, this is not the only player in the industry. There are other players too. There are open source softwares which allows you to do virtualization. But VMware is basically the market leader. VMware is the market leader. They came up with a beautiful software which makes your life a lot easier. It is expensive, meaning there's a licensing cost. This is not an open source software. So the visualization software that we are going to use, we have two choices. We can use the VMware. Remember now, this is the company name. We can also use the Oracle Enterprise. Oracle Enterprise company name. We can use their virtualization software. And that is called the Oracle Virtual Machine. Oracle Virtual Machine. So what you do is I wanted you to download this. So let's go over here quickly and let's go over here quickly to download this Oracle VirtualBox. Sorry, it's called Oracle VirtualBox, not the Oracle Virtual Machine. Oracle VirtualBox. And I had you walk through the process of downloading. And the first thing we go is we go to the download box, the download options. We go to the Windows host if you are using a Windows laptop. If you're using a Mac laptop, you have these two choices. Then you can also do this on a Linux server. And you can also do this on a Unix server, which is Solaris. I go to the Windows and take a look at this. It started downloading for me. And this is the executable that I have downloaded. Executable means the software that I just downloaded, it is an executable form, meaning when it's a application installer. It's an application installer. When I double click on it, it's going to install the application on my machine, on my laptop. It's going to make it available so that I can use. And if you were in my previous session, we've already taken care of that piece of the puzzle right over here. So we have the Oracle VirtualBox Manager. Let me quickly see in the chat how many of you have this ready already for you guys. And you can either say beautifly, you can say uglyfly, or you can say ready, whatever works for you. Beautifly or uglyfly is the better options because we're learning commands, and this is another my lingo, you know. All right, I got a one ugly fly over here, means she doesn't have it ready. And it's giving me an error. I have another ugly fly over here. I'm unable to install. Oh my God, a lot of ugly flies over here today. What's going on over here? It's giving me an error. Why is it giving you an error, and what sort of error you have? It's not installing. What does that mean? It's not installing. Oh, could be that your machine is not compatible. Coach Saim and Coach Nasser, Do you guys know what could be the issue why some of my beautiful students cannot install the Oracle VirtualBox?
So,
So,
go ahead. Go ahead, Sam.
please, Asafai, go ahead.
No, Asad, if they have a Mac or they have those specific, the chip, M1
Mhm.
chip, they probably may end up facing that, but it should download and install on regular. Maybe we can screen share with them after this session and help them.
Okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. After class, stay after class. We will help you. The next piece of the puzzle is downloading the ISO image, which is basically the Linux installer, Linux operating system installer, and it is called ISO. So let me give you the ISO over here. So you know that, right? You have a machine which is either running an operating system or you want to install another operating system on a virtual machine. You need an operating system. Now that you have a virtualization platform, so the story right now is this, okay? You have a laptop, right? And you're quite frankly using this and you're very happy with it already. But now you're saying, okay, just because I'm using Windows on it or Mac on it, I want the ability to also install Linux on it. And for that reason, you install the Oracle box on this machine. And this Oracle box now gave you a virtualization platform. Now you have the ability to create a tiny laptop, a virtual tiny laptop from your physical laptop so it can run Linux. That's where we're at right now. This piece of software is going to allow me to create a virtual machine. And once I have a virtual machine, I need an operating system. Any machine out there, whether it's a server, uh, it's a desktop, it's a laptop, it requires an operating system to run it, right? You've never used any laptop or desktop or server without an operating system. So the next piece of the puzzle is to download the operating system. What operating system should I be downloading? Well, we all agree we need to work with Linux. Well, Linux has too many flavors, distributions, just like ice cream. Because ice cream is open source, anybody can make it, right? It's not like some best chef's recipe that they don't give out to you. The recipe's out there. Anybody can make an ice cream. That's why we have too many flavors of ice cream. Somebody adds pineapple, somebody add apple into it. So that's why we have different flavors. Linux is the same thing. It's open source. Anybody, not me and you because we don't know coding, but companies out there, they hire smart people. They can eventually take the code of Linux and make their own operating system. But we are going to be learning in this class Red Hat, and we are also going to be learning Oracle, Oracle Enterprise Linux. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the best thing about these two, they are 100% identical. So on your resume, I would like to see Red Hat and Oracle Enterprise Linux. So guess what? Red Hat doesn't make it that easy for you to download their piece of software, their operating system, because they want you to fill up the form, they want you to be part of their community. But Oracle, on the other side, is it nice people? They believe in giving. They don't care who you are. So I want you to go and download their OS. How do you download the OS? Well, OS, which stands for the operating system, basically needs to be installed on your machine. And that's when it's called operating system. When it's sitting in a DVD, well, I don't know how many of you are old enough over here to recognize what DVD is, but everybody should have over here a thumb drive, which basically both of them, what do the both of these guys do? They store data, right? Um, so Windows CDs were the best. Okay. So they both store data, but this operating system has to be in a format right now where I can download all the installation media. Basically, I need an installation media. Installation media, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you need an installation media for the OS, that installation media nowadays, this installation media used to be on a DVD or it used to be on a thumb drive. Now that we have faster networks, the internet is a lot faster. Instead of shipping you with a DVD and a thumb drive, a USB drive, what they've done is basically they have put it on their website, www, whatever their website is, .com. So this installation media, ladies and gentlemen, is now called the ISO image. ISO image. So ISO image eventually basically has all files, all files, all the installation files. Media basically means, all the up. In order for you to install the operating system, you need the ISO image. And the ISO image has installation files, which basically means what? When I take this ISO image and I provide it to my laptop, or I boot up my laptop with this ISO image, which is a one big fat file, which has thousands of files and directories, which eventually will be transferred into my laptop when I go through the installation process, and eventually will give me a working operating system. Working operating system. This operating system, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Linux. Okay? So now let's go ahead and download this ISO image. The ISO image is, think of it in old times, this is equivalent to a DVD which had your, essentially it had the ISO image files. ISO image is basically holding the installation files for that very operating system. You need ISO image for Unix to install Unix. You need ISO image for Windows to install Windows. You need a unique ISO image for the company that you're installing their operating system. If you're installing Windows operating system, you would go to their website to download that. If you're installing Linux, you would choose the distribution that you want to install on your machine. You would go to their relevant website. And now we are going to Oracle Enterprise to download the ISO image. So now that we have Google, and Google basically takes us exactly to what we are looking for, we don't have to go through their website. I can simply say OELISO download, Oracle Enterprise Linux ISO, the installation media download. I double click on it and I go in here and pay attention over here how it says that you can download the full ISO, you can download the UEK boot ISO, you can download the boot ISO, you can download the source ISO. Contains sources for the packages included in full ISO. Maybe this is the source code that makes the operating system, right? Open source, that's why it's called open source. Windows will not give you the source ISO. Okay, so let's go over here. The version that we are interested in using is the 9.6. Okay, you never want to use the most latest operating system on a server because you don't know what's working and what's not working in the latest edition. Companies are always hesitant to move from version 1 to 2. That's a major move. They can easily move from 1.1 to 1.3 or 1.5. But moving from 9 to 10 is a major move. They do a lot of testing in their environment before they move to that. That's why they need engineers like you. So we are going to stick to 9.6 right now. We're going to download the ISO Linux R9U6 ISO image. See how it ends with the ISO extension. So in Windows world, because we're using Windows right now, usually you will have the file extensions. Pay attention over here. This one has the file extension .iso. Linux usually does not have file extensions. You will not see the dot something dot something. Sometime in some cases, just to recognize a file, you may see that, but it has no relevancy. But this one in Windows, it has some relevancy. It's specifically telling you that this is the ISO file, which is beautiful. I like it. I am going to click on it and it's going to start downloading that for me over here. Now, this is a big package, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to take 3 minutes for me to download this package. It's about 12 gigabyte. 12 gigabyte. It's a big. It's like a whole DVD. While this is being downloaded on my network, I am going to go back to my terminal and I'm going to utilize this time to review some of the commands that we have done so far. And this is where we will also be testing your knowledge. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, there is still time. If you have a friend, family member that you feel that they belong to this class, especially if they have some college education. I met with one kid yesterday. He graduated from New York, NYU University, one of the top-notch universities in New York area. It's not entirely Ivy League, but it's a top-ranking university. He graduated with a computer engineering degree. He's sitting over here right now. I had the pleasure of meeting with him. A sweet gentleman, very nice. I love the energy that he has, mashallah. And so he shared his life story with me, how he graduated in 2021 and how he lost his parent. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him higher status in Jannat, and how he has not been able to land a job in the IT industry. Um, it's kids like him that I really, really want to help and enable them to earn the salary that they deserve. He did everything by the book, went to best college. NYU, graduating from NYU, not being able to get a job. You know why? Because you don't have a mentor. You need a mentor. So reach out to a person in your family, put your egos down, somebody who knows what they're doing. Honestly, the real issue here is this: there are not that many people who are going to guide you because people are hesitant to share their story of success, how they became successful, because everybody has their own struggle and they just don't want to make it easy for other people because they feel like if you make it there, then the market is going to be saturated. It's going to be a lot of professionals and their value will go down, which is a sick idea in my thinking. It's a sick philosophy. You have to be really sick to be thinking like that, because if you believe in creator, you believe that creator is the provider. And I'm very spiritual person. I believe in that. And that's why I believe in giving. I believe in giving to to the community. So I share portion of my wealth with the poor people. I share my knowledge with everybody, and by God, this is the most beautiful thing that has ever happened to me. Understanding the concept of giving to the society. Because those of you who are Muslim over here, and those of you who have a faith, any type of faith you have, you know that there's a power in giving, and there's a one rule of God. Whatever you give, you get back, but you don't just get that back, you get back in abundance. It gets multiplied. If you smile at somebody, somebody's going to even give you a bigger smile. If you give charity, you're going to get 700 times more back. I am the extreme example over here. Extreme example over here. I have my friend over here. His name is Khizr. He's my business partner too. Back in days, we started taking the course together in 1999. We graduated. We got jobs in 2000, and I was making $35 an hour. He was making the same thing. That's how I started. I started with $35 an hour job. And alhamdulillah, life has been great. But there were times, because when you make, decent amount of money, you also spend at the same pace. So I was always broke. I always borrowed $500 from him at the end of the month, and sometimes he was borrowing, sometimes I was borrowing. It was always five to $1,000 we were borrowing from each other. And that's how life was. Till my dad gave me this idea. I'm not exaggerating. I swear to Allah, I'm not exaggerating. I want you guys to adapt to this idea. Okay. My dad told me you need to spend $100, and I'm going to sponsor an orphan family on your behalf. And I'm going to tell them, my son Asad, he has a job. He's going to pay for your kids. Don't worry. You don't have to worry about the food anymore. And so he's going to take care of you as long as he lives. Don't worry about that. He's going to take care of you. $100. And I told my dad, I said, Dad, that's my cell phone bill. That's the insurance money for my car. $100 is a lot of money. He goes, listen, just do it. Do it for me. I want to show you. And then he brings the Quran to me. He opens up the Surah Baqarah and he shows me, look, if you spend in Allah's way, you will get a return. And he asked me a simple question. Do you believe in God? I said, yes, I do. He said, if you believe in God, then this is what the God is saying over here. And then, believe it or not, I was still not convinced. I did it anyway, just to make my dad happy. Because one thing I've ever done in my life, I always made sure that I listened to my parents, my mom and my dad. They're the most beautiful people in my life. They can tell me anything and I will accept it. I will never argue with them. And even if I don't agree with something, I will say, okay, just to keep them calm, okay? And so I did it anyways for him. And by God, after that, I can tell you back in 2015, this is back in 2011, he told me this. Back in 2015, 16, I was making $100,000 per month. I don't know how. And wallahi, I'm not a smart guy. I'm not a smart guy. I have barely passed my classes. Okay. And I was not great at my work too. I was not the top notch guy. Absolutely no. I was the underdog. I was the underperformer, and nobody wanted to teach me anything. In the IT industry, you will learn one thing. When you become part of the organization, there are going to be people that are going to make sure that you don't learn and that you do not grow. They're not going to share their knowledge. It's called job security. And that's why you're going to survive with your first job. Okay, because they're not going to notice you. They're going to love it that you don't know that much and that you're not direct threat to them. So that's why you're going to sneak in there, sit in there calmly, do your work every single day, get up and go home and work on your plan, certifications, knowledge, and make yourself stronger. So ever since I started doing this, wallahi, my life has been free of financial problems. 75% of your problems go away if you're financially stable. Hear this part of the story. It's been 5, 6 months. I didn't realize. We were supposed to be giving $8,000 to $10,000 per month from to the charity from the Linoop income. We stopped giving. I don't know why. Something happened, negligence or something. We stopped giving that. For the past 6 months, for the past 3 months, I have the biggest financial challenges ever in my life. I swear to my God, I have the biggest financial challenges ever in my life. Now I have to think about what am I eating, how much am I spending, and I'm the guy who used to always walk with 20 people to the restaurant, not looking at the bill and pay for every single person. I never allowed any single person to pay the bill at the restaurant, the check. And I was a big spender, like 20, $30,000. I used to spend like I'm spending $200. But now, because for some reason, I don't know what happened though, I could not tell, just stopped giving. We made a promise to our business partner, which is the creator, stop giving. I want to highlight this. I want to take your important time to highlight this. This works 100%. So I have had a word with my creator and I explained everything that, look, I'm sorry, I messed up. I promise you, I will make it up. So the first payment that I get from my students, I owe about $50,000, $60,000. The very first amount that I get is going back to the charity. Right away, no question about that. Every single student over here that enroll, even if you don't complete your $6,000 payment, Linoop is going to pay $500 in charity. I will be sharing the videos with you guys, the food that we distribute, the clothes that we distribute, the sick people that we give money to, the orphan kids. They deserve a chance. And that's what humanity is. I am going to use your money to enable those people. I'm going to use your money to give food to people. It's not my money, it's your money. It's going to bring a lot of blessings in this program as well. And honestly speaking, because of that, I've also did not have crazy success rate as I used to have in my previous batches. I'm not going to lie to you. And it's my firm belief that it's because I messed up on the charity part. I want you to start as little as $25, $30, $50 per month because it can give somebody food for the entire month. Don't give money to anybody. Find the needy family in your neighborhood back home, wherever you come from, even here, if you know somebody. But over here, we have food programs. Everybody get the stamps. Back home, you have your mother, you have your father. They're old now. Give them something to work with. My dad, all day long, his job was to distribute money. Sit home, anybody that comes, listen to their story, and say, here, 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 here. I stopped doing that. He asked me multiple times. And then he was like, okay, maybe he doesn't believe in this. He's tired and he stopped asking me. Believe me. And that's when everything went down the hill. But guess what? I'm going to bring back up because inshallah, the minute I get paid, I am paying my debt off to my creator and get a, clean slate, my credit history with my creator. So folks, I'm sorry I'm taking your time on these, stupid things, hacks of life. I feel obligated to tell you all of these things because these are personal experiences. I do not lie about these things. I don't generally lie. I only lie to my wife, but that's another story. But generally, I don't lie. That's even acceptable in those of you who are married. That's acceptable to some degree. But honestly speaking, start doing this. Do yourself a favor. Start doing this. Start with $20, $25 a month, and you will see the results. Now that we have the ISO image downloaded, um, we can go ahead and get our virtual machine here opened up, which is basically an application. Here, this is also another sort of application. And now what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to add, this is the virtualization platform for me. I'm going to add, and I am going to go to the downloads over here. And hold on a second. Let me just click on this small icons. Go to details. Well, hold on a second. Give me a second over here. I need to create a new machine. So I'm going to click on the new machine. Sorry, not add. I'm not adding something. I'm creating something new. I'm creating a new machine. New. It is asking me, what name do you want to give to this machine? I can call it server 102. Okay. And I can call this a RAL 1. As soon as I said RAL, which is Red Hat Enterprise Linux, it knows that I'm trying to work with the Red Hat. Whatever name you want to give, that's perfectly fine. And now it is saying, let's take a look at this over here real quick. By the way, if you have a problem with my pep talks, you're going to have a lot of hard time in my class because this is what I do. I'm a sick guy. I like to educate people about my experiences of life, and I will continue to give you those. If it's mind boggling to you, if it bothers you, stay away from me. You and me, we're not going to get along. If you don't feel my energy, if we don't have the same frequency, don't sign up for the program. You're going to be really, really in pain throughout these 6 months. Don't sign up. This is the name. I can give any machine name, any server name I want to make. I can give it a server 101. I can say server 102. I can say Red Hat server, whatever you want to give. Pay attention over here, ladies and gentlemen. Right over here is asking the ISO image. Where is that file, the ISO, the installation media file? I will basically select from here, and then I will give the path. This is the type of the operating system, ladies and gentlemen. And when you talk about the type, we're working with the Linux over here, and subtype, you can choose from the menu, but when you select the ISO image, it will pretty much know. And you know what type of Linux it is, what's the flavor, what's the version over here, and then we will continue to work with the other things. Oops. So RAL ISO image, I'm going to come over here. I'm going to say other. Take a look at this over here. And I'm saying Oracle. This is the one I downloaded. The disk image. It says disk image file. It's like a DVD, which has the installation media. All right, so now it already knows that this is Linux. This is Oracle Linux. This is Oracle Linux 64-bit. And it says, what do you want to do? You want to do unattended installation, or you want to do the by yourself? Well, for now, I am going to go with the unattended installation, which means a faster. Don't ask me anything. So if I come back over here, this is already pre-populated. Right. Hardware. All right. So ladies and gentlemen, if you go back to the concept that I was explaining you earlier, the hardware part over here, remember that at the end of the day, we are taking the resources such as CPU, RAM, and the hard drive, and we are basically dividing those CPUs. So remember, come back over here. Your physical server, your physical machine, which is your laptop has all of these resources. And now we're going to be dividing these resources. Now we are creating a virtual machine, and this virtual machine needs to know, out of the resources that are available for your physical laptop, how many CPUs you want to give to this virtual machine. How much RAM would you allocate for this machine? How much hard drive? So it really depends on what this virtual machine is going to be used for. We're going to be using it for learning purposes. I am going to keep it to the bare minimum. I'm going to keep it to 2 gig of RAM. I'm going to keep it to one CPU allocation. And that's all I need for now. Down the road, when I'm working on a production server, this might change because it depends on what the server will be doing. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to take over here 5 minutes break for you guys. 5 minutes break over here because you've been listening to me for past 1 hour. Let's just take a 5 minutes break over here. Brooklyn. New York. Right here. It is next to Bobby Auto Shop. All right. Now just show of hands over here. How many of you are planning to come see me? Just like to see your hands. And the location doesn't matter. Just make sure you come see me, discuss whatever is going on with you, share your story with me, and know that for a fact that my job is not to bring you into this program. My job is to guide you. My job is to advise you. The knowledge, the experience that I have, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave me, is amanat, and I'm going to use my knowledge and my experience to guide you. Along with that, I will have a Khizr. He's a business partner. If we get lucky, we may have Nasr Bhai there as well. He's a very mood dependent guy. Depending on his mood, we might either see him, we may not see him. It's all on our luck and his mood. So July 10th and 11th, 100% Shahid Bhai is going to be there with me, and Khizr is going to be there with me. So together we can make a better decision for you. You have financial issues, whatever the story is, I want to listen to that story. And then I want to guide you. Then I want to tell you what to do. Okay? All right. No worries. Look forward to seeing you guys. Let's continue to work with this machine over here, ladies and gentlemen. So, unattended installation. I didn't choose to do the unattended installation optional options over here. Guest conditions over here. Okay. That's okay.
We all ignored.
Yeah. And so let's go to the hardware over here. We're sticking to this. That's fine. Let's go to the hard drive over here. It's going to take 20 gigabyte. I'm going to give it a 30 gigabyte just for the heck of it. But that just needs 20 gigabyte. Why is this still asking me? Oh, it's asking me to put the password. ABC123. ABC123. The machine name is going to be Real1. The domain name, you can say anything. I'm going to change it to Linoop.com. Okay. Now let's come back over here. Wonder why. Okay, yes. Skip unattended installation. Yes, I don't want to do unattended over here So I clicked on this skip and I'm okay over here. Is everybody with me so far? I clicked on the skip unattended installation because I want to show you the installation, how to do this. If you don't have your VirtualBox installed and up and running, don't worry, we're going to help you toward the end. Sit back, relax, watch this process take place. All right. So meanwhile, I have like 6 hands up. So, okay, so that's the amount of people that want to come see me. Interesting. Interesting. Not a problem. No, now it's going up 23, 25. It's like a stock market now. It's going up 29, 30, 31. What are you guys raising your hand for? These are the hands to come see me. Oh, so by the way, this machine is powered off right now. So I'm going to basically start this machine. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the start button. And then let's see what it does. And see over here, it is giving me powering up the VM. Now the virtual machine is starting up and it's launching the console. This is called console. If you're Punjabi speaking, if you're English speaking, then this is console. And if you're both, then you can figure out what do you want to call it. Okay, so over here I have a bunch of options over here. If I'm going to take a snipping tool over here, explain you these options over here. Pay close attention. What are we doing over here? So this is basically the installation started already. And this option is asking me if I want to install Oracle Linux 7.9. I thought we chose 9 point something, but that's okay. Yes, this is the option I want to choose. The second option is test this media and install Oracle 7.9. This will check to see if the installation files are okay. I don't care about this. This option is used if you are troubleshooting an existing installation. Don't worry about this. This option is the right option. Let's go back over here. How many megabytes? Stick to the default 2048 megabytes. By the way, this is the installation. Let me see over here, view scale mode. This is the scale mode. Now, how beautiful this is. I have a laptop and now I have sort of created another version of a smaller laptop inside my laptop, and I am installing Linux operating system on top of that. How beautiful that is. Okay. We never used to have this option. Back in days, we just had to live with one operating system. At that time, when I started working at AT&T, at that time, there were some users because I worked at the research center and they were PhD engineers. And they asked us so many times, hey, is there a way to run both operating systems on a single machine, Windows and Unix? And we used to give them an option, say, there is a way to install both of these operating systems, but you cannot work in parallel on a single machine. So welcome to the Oracle. I have Linux, I have English, and I have English United States. I'm going to go hit, okay, let me close this out. All right, so I close out of that, I go continue. Continuare, that's a one word I know in Spanish. Continuare, is that right? Continuare. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the date is set over here. It's America's New York time zone. The keyboard is English, US English. I have the language support for the English United States. I have the installation media showing as the local media, meaning it already knows where the ISO image is. I have the software selection to minimal install. I should be changing this. I'm going to click on this and I am going to choose server with GUI. I do want to show you how Linux looks with graphical user interface, and I am not choosing any of these. These are different tools, different services that you can add to your installation for this server. For example, this is where it would make a lot more sense to you guys. Let me take a snipping tool over here and drill this a little deeper for you guys. Give you a little perspective over here. So I'm choosing the software with GUI because I want the server for operating network infrastructure servers with the graphical user interface. GUI usually is a graphical, not usually, it means graphical user interface. Just like you have a Windows operating system with graphical user interface, it has a user interface, some windows that you can click here and there. Linux also gives you that ability, but usually we work with a command line. Nobody likes to work with the graphical user interface on a Linux server, because it's supposed to be meant to log in remotely. Your server is in Texas, in California, and you're over here. And if you're using the graphical user interface, getting access to that server over the network, the graphical user interface will put a lot of load on your network. Whereas the command is very easy to send a command to a server. That's one reason. Second reason is the professional guys like myself, Nasser, Saim, and all of these system engineer level people, system administrators, they do not like to work with the graphic user interface. Graphic user interface is meant for home users because it doesn't offer you the same flexibility the command line interface does. You understand? I'll give you a mini little example. ls command has so many options. A is for the hidden files, L is for the long listing, T is stored by the timestamp, R is to show all the recursive directories as well. Graphical user interface, it will take you time to figure out those options. They are there for you, by the way. You will have to go to the view options, look for the right, select the right option. Waste of time. Time is money. Linux, one flag changes everything for you. It's powerful, flexible. That's why engineer level people, administration level people, DevOps engineers, cybersecurity guys, AI guys, everybody who's in the IT industry, they love to work with the command line interface. You have to be comfortable with the command line interface. That's what is going to put food on the table for you. If I wanted to make this server a backup server, I would choose this option. If I wanted to make this server a DNS server, I would choose this option. And we don't know what DNS server is, but we do know what email server is. You guys use Gmail, Hotmail, Yahoo. They all have email servers. Guess what now? There's probably a Linux server which is running this software package which allows that machine to become a email server. We all have downloaded files from some website. Well, we just did using the FTP server. When we went to the OEL website, Oracle Enterprise Linux website, at the back end, we were using the FTP package they are running on their server. Okay, for them to allow us to download files. Again, this package, if you add this package or this package, this will allow that server to also put files and you can download. Hardware monitoring tools, we don't know. Identity server management server, we don't know yet. InfiniBand, InfiniBand, I don't know what that is. Java platform, it's used by developers. I don't need any of these things for now on this virtual machine. So I don't need to choose any of these. I'm going to simply choose one. So I go back over here to my virtual machine and I say done over here on the left upside or on the left upper corner. Second over here, this is like a menu given to us. It is saying installation destination. Look, the 30 gigabyte disk that we selected, it shows up over here. Remember, we decided that we're giving the out of the 500 terabyte, we gave 30 gigabyte to this machine, and that's what it shows up over here. And if I go down over here on this menu, the option over here says automatically configure partitioning. I can go and configure my own partitions, but I want the operating system to automatically do this for me. We're going to choose this option. Do you remember the partitioning part, what I explained to you guys? When you buy your home, come back over here. When you buy your home, ladies and gentlemen, when you buy your home, when you buy the land and you want to build a home, you will decide where's the entrance. You will decide which is going to become the bedroom. You will decide which is going to become the second bedroom. You will decide the kitchen area. You will decide the living area. You will decide where the bathroom will go. What are you doing over here? You're partitioning your land. Why? So you can organize. It's not a one big area. Potentially, you don't need all of this stuff. You can just have a bathroom over there, just have an open layout kitchen, open bedroom over here, and sofas over there. But why do you like to put those walls over there? For privacy. Yeah. And also to organize. You can then you label that this bedroom belongs to my brother, this bedroom is for my parents, and this bathroom is shared, of course, but only one person uses it one time for privacy reasons, obviously. And why? Because of the organization. You want to be organized and you want to have privacy. Same thing, ladies and gentlemen. When you have a hard drive, like this size of hard drive, 30 gigabyte, I could care less. I could just leave this hard drive as is. And the system will look at this as a one hard drive. But the system is going to put a file system on top of this. It's going to create a root directory. And under the root directory, you will have all these subdirectories for the same purpose that you have partitioning in your home. Okay. And so no matter how this hard drive is divided, how many partitions you have, you will always have a one tree and you will always see the same directories when the installation is done. And a little review over here. Give me some file systems that you will find under the root directory /bin. Give me this one /sbin. Give me this one, /home. Give me this one, /etc. Give me this one, /temp. Give me this one, /var. And if I can refresh your knowledge, what do you find in the /home? User home directories. What do you find in the /sbin? System binaries, those commands that are used by super user or root. What do you find in this directory? Binaries. What are binaries? Commands. Why we have a bin and /sbin? Commands that regular users use, like all of us are logged in right into the server. They are found in the /bin. The commands that requires elevated privileges, meaning it requires you to become root, they will be found in the sbin. S stands for the system binary. What's in the /etc? Configuration files. That's related to the operating system pretty much. This is related to the operating system as well, and to us users too. What do you store in the /temp? Temporary files, whatever you want to store. What is in the /var? Variable data, data that changes, logs, events are found in the /var. So when I say automatically partition my hard drive, it is the operating system is going to decide how to utilize this 30 gigabyte. It will either keep it as a one big fat partition, that would be called one partition, or it may divide it into different pieces. If it divides this into two pieces, this will become SDA, which means this is the first hard drive or first partition. Oh yeah, this will stay SDA 1, and this will become SDA 2. Right? This is partition 1, this is partition 2. But the file system, the root file system, will always look like to you the same tree is going to pop up. Okay. Why do we divide the hard drive into partitions? Because sometimes you want to limit a particular file system, let's just say /var, to a particular size. So because the /var contain logs, events that are happening to your system. If something goes wrong with your system, it will create an event. If a user logs in, it will create an event, a log, an entry in the file. Something happens to your server, it comes under attack. This /var will continue to grow. If it grows to the point where you cannot write any files, then your system will shut down. Therefore, sometimes the system will divide your hard drive into multiple partitions. And then these file systems, for example, /home, might sit on this partition. /var might sit on a different partition. And you can continue to divide this just to limit their space. I know some of you are not understanding this concept. Perfectly fine. Okay, it's an advanced level concept. If you don't understand it, that's okay. I'm going to go back to I'm going to choose the automatically configure partitioning. Therefore, I will explain you when we do the partitioning manually. Then I will explain you in full detail what is partitioning, why are we partitioning the hard drive, why are we segregating the directories on different partitions, You need to understand that, and it's really fun to have that understanding. It's not that complicated. I clicked on the done button. I am going to go and take a look at this option over here for the network and host name. Okay, thank you. I'm going to click on the network and host name. Okay. If I come over here, take a look at this. It is showing me that the network card over here is called ENP0S3. And right now it says it's disconnected. I am going to turn this on and take a look at this. Now it says connected. I likes it. I likes it. And it's also getting an IP address 10.0.2.15. I likes it. Okay. And for the host name, I'm going to leave it as is. See, computers also have names. You can name them anything. And they usually, when you work for the organization, there's some type of naming convention. You also have some type of naming convention in your family names. Some people like to name their kids based on the prophet names. Some people like to name their kids based on their favorite celebrity or their kids' names. Some people just like different names and they just pick a different name. My name is Asad, which means lion. In Urdu, it means sher. In Arabic, this is Asad means lion, the animal. And when I was naming my son, I named him Usad. Now, Asad is written like this in Arabic. And Usad is written like this. So this is lion and this is little lion. That's how I named my son. And this is unique name. And mashallah, he's always going to be my little lion. And I'm really proud of him, mashallah. He got accepted into the NYU cybersecurity program thanks to my guard, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even though I did not invest too much time in my kids because I've always been investing my time in other people's kids. And mashallah, he has also got a scholarship. That means he's gonna be, instead of paying $90,000, he should be paying only 12,000 or something. Blessings of God. Well, I did not spend that much time with this kid, to be honest. I spent time with other people's kids. Remember, I gave my time to other people's kids. My creator is going to take care of my children. Giving and getting in return. Believe me. And mashallah, he's already, ahead of the game. He has 2 offers. And I told him that my dad was a taxi driver. I automatically, remember one thing over here, I automatically became a taxi driver the day I turned 19 years old. I became an engineer. My son automatically became an engineer. He was born with it. It was given to him. Wallahi, same thing is going to happen to you. Some of you don't look at it things like this. Whatever you are, especially if you have a son, and if you're a mother, you have a daughter, they look up to you. You need to set good examples for them. I know some of you are very comfortably driving Uber and it's fun. because you get to go away from your family. Your lousy wife is not calling you all the time, checking on you, you know, and you have that freedom. But your son is going to become a taxi driver. There's no way you can change that. There's no way you can change that unless you change yourself. And then I told him, you automatically became an engineer. This is not where I want you to settle. I want you to become the chief technical officer and run the company entire technology stack. This is called being a leader. And I told him the least I can settle down is CIO, Chief Information Officer. This is the direction I have given him. So, ladies and gentlemen, what your kids do have to do a lot with what examples you set for them. It's not always telling them, look, I was not able to do anything, and now I want you to do something with your life. It doesn't work like that. You have to give examples. Anyway, we were talking about the partitioning. Let's come back over here. See, I told you these pep talks are not gonna stop. If you don't like them, you're gonna be miserable with me. Don't sign up for this program. CIO means Chief Information Officer. Let's continue. So now I have the network part taken care of. Security, I don't care about that right now. So I have pretty much taken care of everything over here. Now I begin installation. Begin installation over here on the right side. I click on it. And it is saying the root password is not set. No user will be created. Okay, I click on this and I'm setting the root password. ABC123. ABC123. Is this a secure password? Absolutely no. Absolutely no. How do you select a secure password? Well, I like to come up with a phrase. Give me a phrase. Okay. Phrase. I love Linux. This is a phrase. Now, I'm going to convert this into a password. I am going to convert this into a password. First of all, I am going to change anything that looks like numbers over here. This looks like a number 1. I'm going to change it to 1. This looks like number 0. I will change it to 0. This looks like 1. Okay, that's number 1. I will change this. Second, I will introduce some capitals, caps. I will keep the L over here capital, this L capital. Good. So what do I have over here? 1 capital L, 0 VE. This E looks like 3. So I'm going to change it to 3. And this L is capital again. This is 1 N U X. Now I'm going to introduce some special characters. I am doing this for money. I'm going to bring a dollar sign over here. Okay, this starts with the money and ends with the money. And maybe exclamation over here. Maybe 2 of them. Or maybe at dollar sign. Okay? There you go. This is a good password. Now I can bet you my empty wallet. Where's my empty wallet? I can bet you my empty wallet. All of you moving forward are going to use this as your password. This is how you're built. This is how you're built. And it'll be a lot easier for me to break into your email addresses because I have hardwired this password in your brain. Okay? And so therefore do not use this. Come up with something else. Somebody gave me another phrase over here. King of the jungle. King of the jungle. Play around with this. You got the idea. Play around with this. Let's go. User. I want to create a user account. I want to give it a name called admin. And the username, I want to give it I'm going to say ASADA, my first name and the last initial. And I'm going to choose the password over here. And I'm going to give the password ABC123 for the simplicity's sake. This is nothing crazy. Done. The installation is taking place. Meanwhile, all right, good one. Usually you need 8 characters. Everybody, please lower your hands. So I know if you have a question or you just raising your hands. Okay. So far, ladies and gentlemen, the story is we started off. Hey, look at this, the journey, the evolution process. We started off with the bare metal server. Now we know how to take this bare metal server and convert it into multiple virtual machines. Machine VM1, VM2, VM3. So I had a bare metal machine, right? It had certain CPUs, it has RAM, it has hard drive, right? And I have the operating system installed on top of this. Okay? Operating system installed on top of this. And this is bare metal era. Then we transition into virtual era, VM era. I have a bare metal machine. And by the way, on top of this, I am running my applications. Do you understand when I talk about these things? Does it make sense to you guys now? Do you have that foundational knowledge that I have given you over the past few weeks? Do you feel comfortable listening to these terminologies? I feel like I'm talking to myself. Come on, yes, say something, goddammit. Why am I wasting my time over here with you guys? Okay, good. Talk to me, okay? Now, okay. All right, so good. This was the bare metal era. This is when I was young, handsome, energetic. Now, when I moved into my late 20s, this is like early 20s. When I moved into my late 20s, ladies and gentlemen, we came into the virtualization era. When I started working for AT&T in year 2000, this is where I went. Bare metal servers, all bare metal servers, no virtualization. You get to pick one operating system on a physical server, either Linux or Unix, and that's how life was. I think it was a beautiful life. And they gave you big bucks for knowing little tiny things. Life was good, honestly speaking. Then we came into the virtualization era. Virtualization era says that you can install, and I repeat concepts over and over again. You're going to get sick of me. You can install the hypervisor, the VMware, I'm going to call it, virtualization platform. And as a result, you can have multiple machines. Again, we are at the machine level, right? And then these machines can run multiple applications. independent of each other. Right? This is one machine, this is machine two, machine three, application one, application two, application three, application four, five, six. And I keep talking about application. I don't have enough examples to give you, but when you go into the DevOps program, you install applications and then you can relate to these applications. Okay, you will install those applications. Now, this is the virtualization era. Now I'm in my late 20s. I'm in my late 20s, okay, and maybe early 30, late 20s. And what it did was basically this is the OS, this is the applications. Now, instead of running all the applications on one single server, on single operating system, you have an option to run your application on multiple operating systems, on a single hardware, on the same hardware. Different operating system, application running. Different operating system, application running. You could still run 1, 2, 3, 4 applications on a different operating system. Now came another era came over here called cloud. This is when I'm in my early 30s, about 10, 12 years ago. What is cloud? Over here, bare metal is needed in your data center. You would buy the servers in your data center. You would have your own routers and switches. So you have an upfront cost, capital investment you would have to spend money. These servers were expensive back in days, $20,000, $50,000 server. Now they're relatively cheaper. You can buy the cheapest server on $200, $500 on eBay, used one, of course. The new server still would cost you around $10,000. A good server would cost you $10,000. Okay, they're cheaper now. When you went from bare metal to virtualization, you still have a bare metal server over here, which you still need to buy. And on top of that, you needed to buy the VMware software, which is expensive. It is still costing you money. And you still have access to the bare metal server, which is sitting in your data center. You were good. You were spending money. You also hired people to manage them. People like me and you. You still had to hire. Now came the cloud era. What is happening in the cloud era? Well, imagine a scenario. Me being Asad Akhtar. Well, I'm not that cute, honestly speaking. But I have an idea that I want to develop my application. And I don't have too much money. But developing application, I need to hire developers. Number one, developers. And the developers will need these servers. The servers will need OS. OS will run applications. And then these developers will work with these applications to build their application. Again, they need bare metal servers. But I'm in a situation right now that I don't have the capital. I don't have that money. I'm lacking the money. I'm lacking the funds. So, some smart guys like Jeff Bezos and who's the Microsoft guy? Bill Gates. They realize that, you know what? People are building applications. They have ideas. We need to somehow provide them servers on a rental basis. Now, ladies and gentlemen, they launched a service called Cloud Service, where they are allowing you to rent server, network. All you need is a lousy laptop in your home, in your office, and you have access to ton of resources. For what? Rental. I need a server for 5 months. I need a server for 1 day. I need a server for 1 year. I don't know how long I need a server for. I need a server. It's a rent a server. Not just a server. I'm just giving you server as an example because that's all you understand right now. Databases, virtualization, a lot of other services, security products. So they have put price on different services that they can provide you. All you do is just rent a server. Now, this is the cloud is happening when I am around 31 to 40 years old. Now, and let me show you the cloud website over here. Amazon.com. Amazon.com. Amazon AWS. There you go. Take a look at this. Products. They give you all of these products over here. You see compute? Compute means servers. Take a look at this. How can I take a picture of this? You see this right here? You cannot see. So if I go into compute over here, and I go to this over here, by the way, the EC2 is their server. And you can basically start your server in just 1 second as long as you have the account with them, which I plan on showing you guys. This how to build a server right over here. Let me see. Amazon AWS. See if I have my account over here. I can log in. So yeah, I don't have an account on this browser. But so Amazon is basically selling you these servers, and you can go check out their products over here. And you can check out the solutions that they are giving you. They have every single thing that you think. Now, what they did is basically they have bought a lots of these servers and they have them in huge data centers, huge, crazy data centers, ladies and gentlemen. And if I were to go over here and if I can just look at their Amazon data center, it's beautiful to see their data center visit on YouTube. So they have basically bought Amazon data center. Take a look at this.
Amazon Web Services is an unrivaled.
They have tons of servers and thousands of servers that they have put together, and they are providing these services to you guys for a rental fee. And by the way, if you want to have a server on Amazon, there's a one server which is completely for free. It doesn't cost you anything. Okay. So Amazon data centers are running these servers. Okay. And you should watch some videos of these data centers and the Google data centers and take a look at this. They have crazy amount of servers, and they have professionals who are managing those servers, professional like me and you down the road. So this is where, ladies and gentlemen, our AWS comes in. Are you guys with me, or am I just wasting my time over here? We are going to learn Amazon Web Services and how to build servers with them. How to build servers, how do you manage them, how do you install the operating system on it, just like you learned today, how to install the Linux operating system on, and it's still going, by the way, it's still going. Okay. And so we are going to learn the AWS. Itself, AWS has tons of jobs. If you can just learn Linux and just learn Ansible, you are on your way to the job market. And they have tons of jobs. So I was explaining you, this is the era, and this is when I was 30 to 40 years old. Now, as soon as I turned 41 and onward, there's a new term called container. Okay. We have seen bare metal server transition into the VM. We have seen the cloud. Now we understand that in the cloud picture, we don't have any servers in our data centers. We don't own any servers. We just have laptops, and we connect to these servers that Amazon provides us. But the concept is still same. Concept is still same. Now that bare metal server is in their data center, and we're just remotely accessing it through the website. Okay. And we are working on the CLI, just like you guys connect to our server, CLI, and you perform your commands over there. Still, you will run applications on top of this server. Still. The new concept over here, ladies and gentlemen, which changed the IT industry, is called containers. What is a container? Again, let's go into the picture of, let's go into this picture. Bare metal server. Bare metal server allows you to install OS. OS allows you to install applications. Correct? Guess what? Let's just say if this is my web application, I'm going to give you an example. You are logging into a chase.com website. This chase.com website is your front end. You are entering your username and password, and you're looking at your banking information. In order for me to provide this website to you, if I'm a Chase bank, I have thousands, hundreds of thousands of servers working in my data center, running thousands of applications on different servers, making this website available to you. Understand that? Okay. So now let's take a look at one of those servers. That's probably a bare metal Dell server or HP, probably running Linux, probably running 5-6 applications. Whatever those applications are, there's some softwares, coding software, they're doing something to support this website. Okay. Now the new concept, container. This application, ladies and gentlemen, is married to this OS. And this OS is married to this bare metal server. You cannot separate them. You cannot take them away. Marriage, you can separate things. What's the better word to say this? Marriage. Marriage, you can separate. Hey, go for the lack of better word. Could you guys give me a better word? How would you say inseparable? Inseparable. What is the right word? Conjectured twins. Okay, conjectured twins. Okay, those twins that are born glued together. Okay, glued together. Yes. So these are glued together. Okay. If something happens to this bare metal server, the impact is going to be on the OS. And by the way, these applications are designed to run on Linux operating system. So they are inseparable. You cannot separate them. But containers, this is the old style, by the way, the old architect, which works on the bare metal, on the VM, on the cloud. Now, container is fun. Okay, come back. Container says this. You have a bare metal machine, bare metal. That bare metal is running an operating system, Linux. On top of this, you install another software called Docker. And now this Docker can run your applications. So there's an additional piece of software over here. Why do I need this Docker over here? Well, guess what? Before, if you were to take this application and you wanted to run on another bare metal server running Linux, and you wanted to run over here, if there was any slight change on this between this Linux and this Linux, this application would not run. It's not portable. You cannot just move it. It's not plug and play. I'm running this web server over here. I can move it onto this machine. No. But with the container, now the applications are portable. They're transferable. You can take this application and you can run it on Linux. You can run it on Windows. You can run it on Unix. This application is now designed to run on any OS. So now the applications they can be separated. They're not bundled, they're not tangled together with the operating system. Why? Because now the applications are contained in a container. Contained. Everything that an application needs is in this contained environment. I know this stuff is flying over your head, isn't it? Right? It's flying over your head. It takes time. It takes time. It took me 25 years to get to the level where I can understand the lingo, I can understand the technology. It is my job to lay that foundation so you can understand the industry language. Explain me one thing. How are you going to survive in the IT industry, if you don't learn these technologies, if you're not familiar with the lingo, the language, you cannot survive even 5 minutes in a room with a bunch of professional people. Going back to the question that innocent gentleman asked me over the text, how come after completing the 4 weeks of training, I cannot get a job? Cannot. It's going to take you 6 to 8 months to build this vocabulary, to build the foundation, so you can have a conversation with the manager. Okay? So you, even though if somebody takes the interview for you, what these people are doing out there, you cannot survive. Not even a one phone call if you don't understand these things.